Welcome to Lira in Law. Thank you very much for joining me again. Magandang Huwebes po sa inyong lahat. Thank you again for joining me for our usual Thursday get together. I hope you are well. And I hope you enjoyed the summer, in the UK or in my neck of the woods in Richmond nga. It's the weather's turned a little bit, no? Mainit nga kaninang umaga mainit, but it's kind of cooled down today, tonight nga, and it's a little bit drizzly, which is not a bad thing also, no? A bit of a break from the lovely, lovely summer weather. So ang pangalan ko po, I should really lead with that. Ang pangalan ko po, Lira Simon Kabatbat of Douglas Simon Solicitors. I am a solicitor, practicing solicitor in the United Kingdom. My office is Douglas Simon Solicitors. I have been, it always takes my breath away every time I say the number nga. I'm post-qualification experience of 34 years. Yeah. So well over 3 decades na nga. Of just practicing. My office is a little bit younger than that. And so my office has been established for 28 years. So a couple more years and we will have hit the 30-year, the 3 decades, no? So we've been doing this nga a long while. And I hope that, and actually we've been doing this as in yung broadcast nga natin. I've been broadcasting also for a while. Now, since the pandemic, no, inumpisan natin, so about 6 years. So we've been at it for a long time, and I hope that you will, join me, continue to join me, going forward, and certainly tonight. And I hope that you enjoy it. As usual, po, the topics that we're going to deal with came from you, but tonight, nga, slightly different, no? Ang topic po natin, which was actually published nga last week, is this, 20-year private life route. Now, the reason why I chose that topic is in the last certainly few months, if not the last 12 months, shall we say now, I have submitted quite a few, 20-year route applications, which is unusual. It is, as it says, 20 years. So ibig sabihin, you're looking at an applicant who has been in the United Kingdom for that length of time. And that normally is quite unusual in itself because 20 years is so long, but I've had a fair few applications, and just absolutely coincidentally today, I received back one of those applications, not successful. So obviously, I'm not going to give any more details than that. But if you're watching, you know, congratulations to you. You know who you are, no? And my congratulations again. The client persevered, gave great instructions, documents were there to help. And so that resulted to a successful application. So congratulations nga ulit. Actually, completely coincidentally. But because this is a route that I normally do not get, but for some reason in the last 12 months nga, I've had a fair few submissions and I have a few more to submit nga. I thought it may be an idea to discuss it. So I hope that you enjoy it, and I hope that that it's useful to you. Kung nanonood kayo, tapos meron kayong kilala, na baka makakatulong nga nito, pass it, no? Send them our link. Sharing is caring, no? And kung meron kayong questions, of course, as usual nga, ask. If it's after the show, just email me and tingnan nga natin. Actually, a few of the questions nga, meron silang, they want to know some links. I'll post those of course, on our Facebook nga. So, yun pong topic natin, big topic, and it's actually good to discuss it dahil nagbago nga, no? I mean, it's provisions often change, in immigration rules often change, or there's a case law that maybe interprets it differently. Pero ito, a few more things have come into play. So, for example, something called part suitability. So, what will the Home Office be looking at in the way of, say, character? Pag-uusapan din nga natin yun. Pero hindi lang yun. We have a whole host of really interesting topics. Again, from you, no? So for example, pag-uusapan po natin skilled worker, no? So ang question nga ng viewer natin is, may trabaho siya nga ngayon, skilled worker visa nga siya, pero gusto niyang palitan. No? She's had an offer. Anong kailangan niyang gawin? Can she even accept the new offer? There's also visit visa applications, but where it's the visitor, the applicant is a young man, wala nga lang siyang trabaho sa atin, no? Makakakuha pa rin ba siya ng visa, for example? Again, another great topic nga. And of course, not of course, but also one of the sadder issues nga when I'm dealing with it is when you what happens if you lose your indefinite leave to remain dahil matagal ka nang wala nga dito sa UK. That's always a difficult topic dahil of course it's a lot of people work very hard to get the indefinite leave to remain tapos for whatever reason nawala nga what to do. So another thing to discuss. So we have a whole bunch of topics nga tonight, and they're great topics, and they're from you. So kung meron kayong mga questions, please do email me. As long as you email me by Wednesday, then I'll try and get it in for discussion the following week, or the following Thursday, I should say. Okay. Now, without further ado, let me launch into our topic nga 20-year route, so 20-year private life route. Now, okay, so where to it's quite a big topic, so I didn't actually know initially where to start, and you can easily get lost when you're discussing a topic if you do not have structure. So ang gawin natin, so I thought, okay, let's start from the beginning. What form do you need to submit? Because that's often the question nga. What form is needed? So you must complete the right form, of course, and it's called FLRFP. So ang gagawin ko mamaya, after our show, I'm going to post the link to the Home Office website. So yun ang form para ditong klaseng application. Now, you of course need to make a valid application for leave. Now, otherwise, they will refuse the application. Now, what do you need to show in order to submit nga a valid and make it a successful application? Evidence, So nothing, of course, beats evidence, and they need to see it. So the basic documents is passport nyo, lahat-lahat. Hindi nga lang yung bago, lahat-lahat. Yung luma nga din, gusto na makita. And when you're submitting it, what I normally do is I scan all the pages. Hindi nga lang yung meta tag, okay? That way you also have a full copy of your passport. So passport's current and expired. Now, how do you show that you've actually been in the United Kingdom for 20 years? Documents po, So they can be, evidence can be things like official letters. By that, I mean kung meron kayong employment contract, meron kayong sulat galing sa Inland Revenue, HMRC, the tax people nga, tenancy agreement from landlords. Great would be bank statements, but I appreciate that some of you who make an application under the 20-year route may not have bank statements nga. So, ang importante nga mapakita nyo that you actually have those documents to show nandito nga kayo. Actually, let me just backtrack a bit. Really, I should have started by saying the 20-year route is used by those people who do not have a visa in the UK, who do not have leave to remain in the United Kingdom. By contrast, there's the 10-year route. The 10-year route requires na dire-diretso yung visa nyo. Meron kayong visa nga dito. The 20-year route will include those people who entered the UK, naging overstayers sila. It can also include those people who entered the UK illegally, even, okay? Or those people who entered the UK who had a proper visa tapos naputol o pinutol ng Home Office. So their leave to remain was curtailed by the Home Office. So I should have led with that. So that's why these types of applications, when they're successful, they're particularly rewarding for me, because it means nga yung kliyente ko, usually ibig sabihin, well, it is, hindi sila nakauwi. sa atin, kung galing nga sila sa Pilipinas nga, for 20 years or even more. Okay? And some also have been subjected nga to detention, so natatakot nga sila, hindi sila pwedeng magtrabaho, no? O tinatakot sila ng mga tao. So they can be people with this kind of background nga, can have gone through quite a lot. So it's particularly rewarding for me to be able to say nga, that your application was successful, which I had the pleasure nga of doing today, for one of my clients. So kung itong papasok nyo, importante po ebidensya. Now, as I say, official letters, medical documents even. Kung meron kayong doktor, no? Now, I would also say, kahit ganitong status nyo, as in wala kayong status, no? You can still register with the GP. Hindi naman ibig sabihin na hindi kayo hindi kayo pwedeng mag-register just because you do not have leave to remain in the UK. You can still register with the GP because it's called primary care. No? And if there's an emergency, you should still be treated, no? Because again, it's primary care. So you are entitled to NHS care in that sense. Medical records, no? So kung meron kayong GP, yung meron kayong doktor dito, you can ask for disclosure nga yung medical notes. So it could be that you had a doctor from 20 years ago or longer, no? And kahit hindi nga kayo laging pumupunta, it could be that you have some record. And during the COVID time, which spanned obviously a few years, it could be that you have some record nga. It could also be opticians, no? It doesn't have to be GP. It could also be, of course, hospital if you were hospitalized nga. So maganda nga mapakita niyo yung pangalan nyo, tsaka yung petsa. Now, for those of you who are younger, and I have actually some clients in this situation nga, school educational record. So by that, I mean, kung meron nga kayong nag-aral nga kayo dito, or you went to meron kayong college nga dito, it could be that you receive some record of that. Again, that would be good evidence, no? If you don't, and you can remember which school you are at nga, then you can also go there, because it could be na meron nga silang data para sa iyo. So they can maybe have a look at their data and they can say, yes, we confirm that you attended our college between this year to this year. No, it could even be na nasa kanilang attendance nyo. The reason for that is you need to be able to show you've actually been in the United Kingdom for the length of time we are claiming, which is 20 years. Less common for these types of applications, but absolutely I would I always ask nga, are bills. No, by that I mean household bills. A lot of people nga, kung ganitong sitwasyon nga nila, they may not have electricity bill or council tax or water bill, ganon. But if you have it, great. No? So again, nandun pangalan nyo and yung address nyo, but importantly, yung petsa nga. No? Community involvement. This is particularly interesting, no? For some of my clients. So, for example, kung nagsisimba nga kayo, you're part of a church, no? Organization, and then maybe they even you even part of rotas nga, no? Because what normally happens with churches is they say, okay, ang rota mo ito. They normally would write to you. Okay, nowadays they probably email, but in the olden days, if you like, no, they would normally write to you. I mean, they still do. They write to you nandun petsa, pangalan mo nandoon, and of course, yung rota nga, no? And if you have a fair few of those, then again, that would be absolutely helpful, no? And also community involvement goes to, if you like, it points to good character also, because you've been involved in the community nga, you've been helping nga, so you're someone potentially of good character. If you've been part of charities, no? Maybe you've been raising money, or you've just been attending, you've been volunteering, no? Then it could be na yung nga din mapapakita nyo. Now, kung meron kayong mga documents na nga ganyan, then other things would be other additional stuff. So would be witness statements. So by that I mean kung meron kayong mga kaibigan, kamag-anak na pwedeng magsabi nga dumating nga kayo nito lagi kayong nakikita, o kaya in some cases, I've clients who they're the godparent nga of the friend's child. Nandun ang picture nga nila. Nakikita nga sila buwan-buwan, for example, or even just on special occasions. Makikita nila picture ng anak nila nung pinanganak nga, no? When maybe a year when the baptism was carried out. And ngayon, 20 na siya, no? So again, it's really very much a question of making your case, no? Explaining to the Home Office, I definitely have been here for 20 years. Dahil tingnan nyo mga documents. And it can go beyond, as I say, the official documents, pay slips nga if you don't have any, or bills, or indeed bank statements, ganon. So most of the time, people do not have those formal documents. But don't despair. It doesn't mean na hindi nyo makukuha. But you do need to make every effort to adduce other types of documents. And as I say, kung meron mga kaibigan, statements nga, witness statements, to be prepared. And do not be tempted to have, I've taken over a couple of cases nga where ang pinadala ng kliyente ko through their reps was just exactly the same letters, like times 20, no? Iba-iba nga lang ang pangalan ng tao. But otherwise, exactly the same letters, and they say, we attest that they're of good character. We would support the application to remain in the United Kingdom. Yun lang. That's at best, that's kind of unhelpful. No, you need quality rather than quantity. So kung magbibigay kayo ng statement nga, sabihin niyo doon, ang pangalan nga nila, saan sila nakatira, how do they know you, when did you meet, no? How often do you see each other? Are there photographs that you can refer to? Okay? So anything like that, no? So the Home Office want to be, you need to be convinced that you've actually been in the United Kingdom for the length of time that you claim, which in this case would be a minimum nga of 20 years. Okay. Now, increasingly also digital footprints. No, by that I mean kung nagfe-Facebook nga kayo, no, it could be that you can submit nga documents, data confirming that. Kung you have also timestamp social media posts, no. So yun. So importante nga mapakita nyo nandito kayo. Now, tip ko, no? When I'm preparing these types of applications, and as I say, at the moment, I have a fair few going, I list the documents first. You need probably 4 columns, no? And so, unang-una nga yung document. So, description of the document. The period that it relates to. Okay? If there's a specific date, lagay niyo yung specific date. Who does it relate to? It would be for ikaw, of course, no? But if it's a photograph, for example, or it's a joint bill with someone else, lagay niyo nga din. So, sino ba, no? And its relevance. Okay? So, yun. So, if you have those columns nga, you list them and you order them, na makikita nyo doon, okay, itong in 2010, kapos pa ako. No? It's easier then to see what period of time do you need to refer to get more evidence for. No? And sometimes, if you're lucky, the Home Office will write to you and they will say, oh, okay, tinignan na namin, but you're missing documents, or please provide us with more documents in relation to, and then they'll tell you the years, if you're lucky. If you're not lucky, they may simply refuse it for you for failing to provide documents. They should ask you, but sometimes they simply refuse. No, because it's of course for you to submit the documents. When you submit your application, they are assuming, and they would be right to assume, that you've submitted what you have. No? So be prepared, essentially, is what I'm saying. Importante po yun. Also, another tip is this. If you are making an application on this basis, it's helpful sometimes to obtain what's called a subject access request. Now, that's something that I normally ask the documents I ask from the Home Office. So, ibig sabihin, bibigay nila sa'yo yung personal, yung data nga, yung personal data. But it doesn't have to be just the Home Office, okay? So, it could also be from other organizations, no, who hold data about you. But normally, I ask for I do a subject access request from the Home Office. Makikita ko nga doon, okay, do they accept that you entered when you say you did? It's also quite helpful to know if they have any concerns. That may also show from the data nga. Now, so sabihin natin, so just to recap, no, ang application papasok nyo, ang ebidensya, you have to gather that. Use, ilista nyo mga dokumento. I find very helpful Excel. No? I like Excel a lot. People sometimes wind me up about it. So you have Word documents and then you have Excel. Excel is excellent, because it allows you to sort nga the data more easily, especially kung marami nga kayong documents. And believe you me, when you're making an application under this route, under the 20-year route, you need a lot of documents. Now, just again a tip, no, 20 years ang kailangan nyo pakita. It is helpful and to be able to show not just one document for 1 year. Okay, I frankly, I submit as many documents as I possibly can. If I can do it for every week, especially kung yung kliyente ko meron siyang bank statements, I do it. So I can show I covered actually those years. If you think that if you have missing documents or missing years that you can't cover, then I make sure that the witness actually addresses those. So so sabihin natin 20 years ago, no, 2026 na nga tayo, no? So let's say we're missing something from 2016. Obviously, that's not 20 years ago, 2016. If I don't have enough documents for 2016, sabihin natin the latter half of 2016, so from say July hanggang December, then whoever then I approach, yung witnesses nga, yung witness statements, I then ask them, can they confirm particularly that time? So when I make my submissions, sasabihin ko doon, the documents 2016 is covered by, inilagay ko yung pangalan nga ng witness statement nga. And if they have photos, that's great. So it's for you to make out your case, you know? So the application needs to be completed properly. Of course, you need to put together your documents. Now, I'm going to come back to this, the character issue, no, the suitability requirements. But before that, you also need to get ready your money, right? The fee for the application fee currently for this type of application is £1,407. Additionally, kailangan magbayad ng IHS, which is Immigration Health Surcharge, which is calculated at £1,305 per year. So obviously £1,305 times 2.5, that amounts to £3,262.50. So dadagdag nyo yun doon sa 1,407. Yun ang kailangan nyo. Kailangan nyo din ihanda yun. You need to pay both when you're submitting the application. Okay? If your application is refused, then you can get refunded nga the IHS fee, but not the application fee. Now, so handaan nyo na yun. Pagka napasok nyo na, the next thing then is you need to book your biometric. No? So basically, you go there, they take a photo of you, you give your fingerprints nga. And you normally would be required to also provide your passport. No? If you don't have your passport now, then you can make an application for a new passport if somehow it's lost. And of course, you need to be in the United Kingdom, no? When you make that application, it goes without saying, really. Da kung wala nga kayo dito, then of course, you've left the country and therefore you can't satisfy the 20 years. Now, I'm going back to this suitability requirement. The reason for that is new provision was introduced in November 2025, so not too long ago. It's called part suitability requirement. Now, that also makes a difference as regards this type of application. But ito, so basically, kung meron kayong immigration background, this requirement makes it harder to become regularized. And kung wala nga kayo dito, it could be that you may be subject to mandatory refusal. But for these types of applications, let me just read to you one of the part of the caseworker guidance. So sabi nila dito, where an individual meets the eligibility criteria in Appendix Private Life, it will not normally be appropriate to refuse under SU1 suitability 11.3 on the basis of immigration breaches. Translation is, even though they should not refuse just because you're an overstay, which makes sense, no? Because if they're going to refuse you because you became an overstay because of immigration breaches, then you will never satisfy the 20-year rule. But needless to say, the suitability requirement has made character or breaches or deception front and center with for most applications, and certainly this is one, no? So kung magpapasok nga kayong application, siguraduhin nyo that you address this issue and do not be tempted not to disclose certain things, no? So for example that you had breached something, because they may be if they're material to your case and you don't disclose it, then they find out, and they normally would, no? Then that they may consider that to be deception. So ironically, you will then be refused not because of the previous problem, the immigration breaches, but rather because you have failed to make a disclosure that you should have. No? So importante nga din yun. And when you're making this type of application, ang payo ko po, truly seek legal advice. There are many applications, especially na ngayon, where I would absolutely say best to seek legal advice. This is right at the top, no? Because this requires quite a lot of careful handling, as regards documents, but also you need to ensure that you explain to the Home Office issues, and it's best to explain it, rather than be deemed to have hidden it and therefore sought to deceive. Importante po yun. Now, let's say you submit the application and you eventually are granted. And by the way, with these types of applications, I'm usually waiting, or my client's usually waiting for a long time. We're talking if they deal with it in a year, and I've certainly had cases where they've dealt with it for less time than that. But I also have cases that's been outstanding for far longer than 1 year. No, the last one I dealt with, it was over 2 years. So it's but hindi po imposible na makakuha kayo ng visa, but it does need quite a lot of work, quite a lot of thinking. You need to really engage with the facts of the case. No? But sabihin natin, nagpasok kayo ng application, you put together the documents, good representations were made. Of course, you paid the fee already. What then happens? No, two things really. They will either grant the application or they will refuse the application. If they grant your application, ang visa bibigay sa inyo 2.5 years. During that time, pwede kayong magtrabaho nga dito, no limits to the type of work you can undertake. You're not allowed to get money from the government, so you can't claim universal credit or anything like that. But you can travel, no? Hindi nyo kailangan pa ng bagong visa pabalik dito. You can also travel to other countries, hindi nga lang sa Pilipinas, but you're likely going to need a visa to go to those other countries. So all those things you can do. And of course, you can register. You should register with doctor anyway, but you can get your national insurance number, of course. If you're not yet registered with the doctor, you should, or no? You're required, of course, to pay tax, all of that. So you can, of course, open a bank account. So all those things that perhaps you have not done before, you can do now. And the best bit nga is you can take a holiday. Meron ko mga kliyente, hindi sila nakauwi nga for a long time, 20 years plus, sometimes plus. So all that time, they've not seen their family, and they can finally do so. The visa, as I say, is for 2.5 years. Now, bago matapos yung visa yung 2.5 years, you can apply to extend that visa pagka 10 taon na kayo dito, unless the law changes, and it may well change in relation to earned settlement nga. But at the moment, the law says if once you've been in the United Kingdom, it is 10 years, so 2.5 years nga times 4, then you can make an application for indefinite leave to remain, which of course is settlement status in the UK. So it is, if you have been in the UK for that length of time, wala nga kayong visa, naging TNT nga kayo, naging overstay nga kayo, you should consider this. But it's not, hindi nga po to basta-basta. You really should seek independent legal advice, which is actually something you should do anyway. Kung meron kayong problema, as I always say, meron kayong problema, legal problem nga, best to seek independent legal advice. I try where I can to point you in hopefully in the right direction, but of course limited time, limited info, best to seek independent legal advice. And most solicitors would offer fixed fee interviews. So ibig sabihin you pay for that amount. Normally it's only in relation to the first interview, but you pay for that first interview, and hopefully they'll be able to guide you. And then if you want to take them on afterwards, then you take them on afterwards, or they take you on afterwards. So, but do seek advice, do seek independent legal advice. And another tip, Sasabi, is if you're close to this, maybe a year to go, 2 years to go, 3 years to go, before you reach 20 years, huwag niyong tapo ng mga documents niyo. I know some people know, ang kalat, I don't really want to, something else to put away. Huwag niyong tatapon, because it could be that that from your documents are actually really useful stuff that can help na. So huwag kayo magtatapon. And additionally, kung ako kayo, if you think that you may make this application just get a few boxes, just date them. So if you find something from 2016, put it in the 2016 box, So that way it's kind of in order, ready for your legal representative when you decide to make the application. Okay, so it's a great visa. It's a great visa to have. It's a difficult application to make, but absolutely worth it, because this allows you to stay in the United Kingdom quite properly. So again, congratulations to my client who was successful. You worked very hard, so congratulations to you. So hopefully you can enjoy it now, right? Now, I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. It's a topic that I find quite challenging often. Not maybe, because mainly lack of documents nga. Pero hindi lang yun. It's also a question really of witnesses, engaging with witnesses. That can take a while, and preparing a proper, good, detailed statements. Importante po yun. If you hope to succeed with this type of application, then importante po that you really engage with the case. Okay. Good luck to you if you're looking to submit an application on this basis, but really do seek independent legal advice. Now, without further ado, we're also going to talk about the other topics, the other viewers nga natin. Marami tayong questions. So, now let's just have a look. Let me see if I can find that question. Ito nga. Now, hello po, sabi niya. Di ko po alam if scope nyo to, attorney, sabi niya. Regarding po sa bullying in my workplace. Malakas naman pong mental health ko, pero sagad na ako sa mga kasama ko. Para na akong makakasapak. So she can't take it anymore, punong-puno na nga siya, Kung sakali ba, Attorney Lira, any laws na pwede kong pagdependahan para mga Pilipino, sa mga Pilipino na tulad kong na-experience nga nito. I'm so sorry, no, that you're going through that. Absolutely, no. So employers have a duty of care to employees, no, and that includes stopping, bullying. Ang payo ko po, report it to your employer, yun ang una, because they do have a duty of care nga. Keep a diary of events. Mabilis nga, baka hindi mo matandaan nga na yesterday, itong ginawa niya, itong sinabi nga niya. It could be that you have more than one colleague na ganun yung trato sa iyo. So keep a diary of events. So petsa, anong oras, anong nangyari, no? So you can refer to it later on. If you're making complaint nga to your employer nga, of course, report it. And it's best to put it also in writing. So there's no dispute that you actually reported it. Now, a very good source is ACAS, no? So if you just Google it, ACAS, no? A very good resource for employees and also employers, but employees particularly, yung website nga nila. It's very, it's also very easy nga to understand, to follow. That sometimes mga website nga nakakalito, no, because they're making reference to the law and it's perhaps not so clear, does it apply to you? So have a look. So just Google it, ACAS, no. And actually, I'll go one further. Ang gagawin ko para sa iyo, I will put on our Facebook, I propose ko the link to ACAS. No? So you just copy that and have a look at their website. But absolutely, you are entitled to a safe working environment. If the employer fails to do that, fails to provide that, then they could be liable nga. Health and safety. Kung naapi ka because of some kind of discrimination, because of race or some disability nga, then it could be that you can also make use of rely on the Equality Act, no? So there are a number of things na makakatulong sa iyo. Pero unang-unang payo ko, report it to your employer because they do have a duty of care. Baka hindi nila alam na nangyayari, no? Some people do that also. I have clients who've said, "Oh, ayaw ko silang abalahin." No, you are entitled to a safe working environment. No, you should report it. No? So let me know, let me know what happens. It's I always say, it's a bit truly like reading a book. Hindi ko nga lang alam kung anong how it ends. So do please keep me informed. I'm really interested. Okay. I hope that helps. And I'm sorry you're going through it. But ACAS, no, really good resource. Now, next question po ito. My son is 29. Okay. So young, 29. And unemployed in the Philippines because he stays at home to look after his grandmother, no, who lives alone. I'm a British citizen, would like to invite him to the UK for Christmas. Okay? Can he apply for standard visitor visa despite being unemployed? What documents can we provide to show his genuine intention to return to the Philippines after his visit? Great question. Because the problem often with intention, your intention to return, intention to complying with your immigration condition is there's not one document that you can show that would be convincing or conclusive to show intention, because it's not like say money, so if they say kailangan pakita you have an income of 29,000 pounds, if you have pay slips to show 29 P60 or bank statements that support your claim that you actually your income is 29,000 pounds, then that's it, right? But intention is something else. So it's a great question because what do you submit? So ang tip ko po ito, for especially with this kind of background, bata pa nga siya, wala siyang trabaho sa atin, I prepare a statement. By that I don't mean bank statement. It's a bit like a witness statement, but it's a statement nga. Parang affidavit sa atin ang tawag. Yung but not just for him, but also for you, yung ang magulang nga niya. So there, yung statement niya, sasabihin doon, sa anong sitwasyon nga niya, may natapos ba siya sa atin, no? At sabi nga din niya doon, he's a carer. That's what he is, a carer of your grandmother, no? So because of that, he's not in employment. Now you nandito ka nga and he would like to join you in the UK for Christmas nga lang, babalik siya, and of course babalik, kailangan niya din bumalik, kailangan niyang balikan yung alagaan nga yung lola niya, no? So maybe also provide medical reports for lola, no? And evidence also of yung tinitirahan nga niya doon. So statement po, no, for him. Also for you, no? Alam ko ikaw umiimbita, but do say there, ikaw nanay, you made an arrangement nga na siyang mag-aalaga sa lola niya, and that's why he's not taken up employment, nagpapadala ka, komportable sila sa atin, because you provide for everything nga, they have a good life, he has a good life. Yung nga lang gusto mo siyang imbitahan dito for Christmas, maybe because you think that he can stay longer. Now, if that's the case, you should also cover the scenario that sinong mag-aalaga kay lola, no? So it could be that meron kayong pinsa nga na who's gonna cover for just that time, no? To cover the Christmas period nga. So it's for you absolutely to show that he does not intend to breach his migration condition, and he does intend to go back to the Philippines. Now, it is a harder it's a harder case to prove kung ganyan nga ang sitwasyon, but it's not impossible. No, absolutely not. So sabihin nga doon, yeah, magandang buhay nila doon, may bahay nga, meron nga siyang sustento, all of that. So it's for you to say, well, why would he overstay in the UK? So yon. So hindi po imposible, but yon. Here, I find also the more comfortably off you are, no, the better. So kung wala nga siyang trabaho, so wala nga siyang income, then it's for you to say, okay, itong income ko. Kung meron kang partner nga dito, or you have more than say 1, 2, or 3 income, lagay nyo nga din, no? So together, you're more than able to provide for your son in the Philippines. Okay? So yon. Tip ko, statement. Okay? Good luck. Sabihin niyo sa akin, Sabihin niyo sa akin kung anong nangyari. So, I truly am interested. I would like to know. Now, question po natin, next one. Oh, this actually is, this one I get a lot of, itong question na ito. And it's great that you brought it up, because it's something that it's a very common scenario actually. So ito, I'm currently in the UK on a skilled worker visa and have been working for my sponsor for almost 2 years. I've now received a much better job offer from another company, also willing to sponsor me. Right? Can I resign from my current job and start with a new employer, or do I need to apply for a new visa first? Great question. So, unang-una, you need to submit, or your employer will need to provide a new certificate of sponsorship, no? Okay. Now, when do you apply? You can apply to update your visa up to 3 months before the start of the new job. Okay. Now, you can also, this is actually from the Home Office website nga mismo, you can continue working in your current job while your new application is being considered. So, sabihin natin, nagbigay ka na nga ng notice, you can continue working in your current job, even though whilst your application is being looked at, no? But, and this again is from the Home Office website, ang sabi nila, you must not start your new job until you have received confirmation of your new permission from the Home Office. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, you need to wait for the decision before you can start your new job. By the way, you cannot travel to the UK, maybe outside the UK, outside the United Kingdom, whilst your application is pending. Because if you do, even though you still have a visa, then they will treat that application as abandoned. Okay, hindi ka papabalikin. So you should therefore not start your new job until you have confirmation of your new permission. That's actually from the Home Office. Okay. Good luck. I'm glad you got a new offer. Now, next question po natin ito. Yeah, this is I'm always saddened by this type of scenario nga, no? Because it means you've lost something that's quite important. So ang question nga niya, a few questions lang po sa niya. I was granted ILR, short for indefinite leave to remain, in the UK last 2 years ago, April 2024. So she got indefinite leave to remain to April 2024. But I had to return to the Philippines because of serious family matters. My mom and father died in a car accident. That's why I decided to go back in the Philippines. I've been outside the UK for more than 2 years and want to come back and settle in the UK again. Can I still use my ILR, indefinite leave to remain, to return? Or have I already lost my status? So I'm afraid, yes, you have lost your status because April 2024, nung umalis ka nga, hindi ka bumalik, ano na tayo ngayon? We're August 2026, so that's over 2 years. So if you have indefinite leave to remain and you're out of the United Kingdom nga for more than 2 years, then you lose your indefinite leave to remain automatically. They don't even need to write to you. No, you will have lost it. It's automatic po. Now, what does that mean? No, it means you can't come back you can't use your visa, but you can get it back. Itong application kailangan mo pasok. It's the returning resident application. There are a number of things na kailangan mo pakita. So unang-una, this type of application clearly must be made from outside the UK. And you must have had indefinite leave to remain before, no? And you intend to genuinely return to the UK for the purpose of settlement. Babalik ka nga dito ka natitira, no? And also that you don't fall for refusal. So yung suitability requirements. So in the meantime, you have not been convicted of a criminal offense, no? And manggagaling ka sa Pilipinas, you will need to provide also a TB, a TB tuberculosis negative certificate, no? So yun, kailangan nyo pakita. The current fee, so you submit the application, kailangan nyo magbayad. The fee at the moment is 726 £726. Main issue I find with my clients nga, with this type of problem is the being able to show that they have substantial ties still in the UK. So kung meron kang pamilya nga pa rin dito and you're in contact, o meron kang bank account nga dito, ginagamit mo pa rin, o meron kang bahay nga dito and yung nga babalikan mo, then all those things point to substantial ties in the United Kingdom. And it's important that you show that, no? So for example, I dealt with a matter where yung kliyente ko nga natagalan nga sa atin. Actually, hindi niya napansin na she's actually been out for over 2 years. And she only missed it by like 2 weeks, no? But then she attempted to return. She was then unfortunately held and then returned. So we had to make an application for returning residents. So so there, fortunately, she didn't cut ties, no? The UK, meron siyang mga kamag-anak pa nga rin dito. Babalik ang nga lang niya yung buhay niya nga dito. So we were able to show na nandito pa rin nga kamag-anak niya, na meron siyang titira nga, no? It was also open. She still also had her bank accounts, no? Wala nga lang laman. No? But she was still also kind of regularly using it. So it's so all those things amounted to substantial ties to the United Kingdom, and we were able to get back her indefinite leave to remain. So basically, kung makuha niyo yung babalik sa inyo is your indefinite leave to remain. So you're returning resident. No? So if you can do that, that would be good. So, pero kung ako ikaw, I would not delay. No, the further away you are from the 2 years lapse, the more difficult it will be. Now, April 2026 kang umalis, hindi ka nga lang bumalik. August na tayo, but 2026 pa rin. So you're a little over 2 years, no? From obviously April 2026. So magpasok ka ng application na nga. Kung magpapasok ka ng application, you should do it now. Okay? Yun ang payo ko. Again, one of those scenarios where you really should seek independent legal advice, because again, ito po it's quite a complex area, and again, you need to be really engaged with the issues, not just the facts, but also, of course, importante nga din, the legal issues. You need to be able to say to the Home Office and show the Home Office you satisfy nga the conditions, and you need to tell them, give it, and evidence it, where you can. Good luck. I'm really curious. I don't fortunately get too many. I do get these types of applications, but not so many. So I'm always very curious and interested to know what happened next. So please keep me informed. I really would like to know, please. Now, I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. But we mustn't forget my favorite part, which is the batian section. So ito po, Vien Esinev, sabi niya, free po bang magtanong sa live nyo, attorney? Yeah, you can. Pero kung if you want to just hi ma'am, sabi niya, good evening, good morning. So kung meron kang, kung gusto mo ipag-isipan muna yung question, just email me, and I'll deal with it in more detail nga, next week. So I'm here every Thursday, so it's a happy Thursday. So sabi niya, my query is still okay. So my query is still possible po bang mag-UK citizen na hindi nang mag-tax na more than 15 years na po ang nangyayari? This is a great question. Actually, I'm glad you asked this question. Tax goes towards goes to character, So kung hindi ka nagbabayad ng tax, then it could be that goes against nga your character. Now, kung wala kang, kung ang sweldo mo napakababa, and you're actually not paying tax because you don't have to pay tax, that's different. But if you're earning but you're not paying tax, then of course that is an offense for one thing, and it could go to character. So, but kung ang sitwasyon mo, and I have a few of these clients, nagtatrabaho nga sila pero hindi naman lagi, and nagtatrabaho sila pero mababa nga lang sweldo, you can still, you don't need to be working in order to get nga yung naturalization. By the way, now that you asked the question, for the English language, that in March 2027, sabi nila, papalitan daw nila from B1 to B2. Okay? So if you're making an application nga, kung hindi mo kinukuha yung B1 or yung B1 mo, English language, ang payo ko, you should do it now because B2 is quite hard. So yeah, so you don't have to be, you don't even have to be employed to become naturalized nga. And you don't need to have been paying tax. You don't need to be earning bags of money, I should say, in or beyond the minimum, taxable pay in order to become naturalized. But if you are not paying tax and you should be paying tax, then that is a problem, and you should sort it out ASAP. Now, I hope that's helpful. Kung may pahabol pa, then email me and we can, of course, happy to deal with it. Our Philippine viewer, David Calixto II. Magandang gabi po. Magandang gabi. I hope you're well. Balita, may bagyo sa atin. Last week ba may bagyo sa atin? Ngayon umuulan nga dito, but of course hindi nga bagyo. Egay, the great guy from London. Sabi niya, a rainy Thursday, tama ka, Egay. To Attorney Lira and to the viewers. We're back in London and missing Blue Lagoon in Reykjavik, Iceland. Did you have a great time? I'm sure you had a great time, no? I'm ambassador of TapTapSend, a remittance app of sending money to Pinas, no? Use Egay the Guy as a bonus code of £15 for the first-time users. Looking forward to lots of learning again while listening to your lovely voice, Egay the great guy. Salamat po, no? He's great. Egay is a great guy. He's a great dad too, no? May, we like Miss Vargas. May Tigbao Vargas. Hello and good evening, sabi niya, Attorney Lira, and all your followers watching from Exeter, Devon. Happy Thursday po sa lahat and God bless. God bless, May. I hope you're keeping well. Actually, May, we also have been together now since COVID, no, diba? Diba? I think, yeah. I'm pretty sure. Remind me. I'm pretty sure we've been we've been doing this together for like 6 years now. No, 6 years. Speaking of Marilyn Jones, we like Miss Jones. A cooler Thursday evening, sabi ni Atty. Lira, and all viewers. Let us enjoy all the informative topics discussed by our favorite solicitor. Now, Miss Jones, I always say this, is a great dancer. Do not ask me how I know it, but she really is. That woman has moves. Di ba? Hindi lang siya, kapatid nga din niya. Vien, sabi niya, hi ma'am, good evening, good morning. Kamusta ulit? Thanks po, sabi niya. You're very welcome. But if you have any follow-up questions, no, email me, yeah, and I'm happy to deal with it for next week. No, I hope that's helpful. And and look, you should apply. You should apply. Miss Diesta. Oh, I love this photo. Lorna Diesta, sabi niya, good evening, Atty. Lira, and all the viewers. No, just came out of Sainsbury's, waiting for the bus. It's so truly it's so touching, no, to me nga na you doing you on the bus, you're doing your shopping, or you're on holiday, no, and you wake up, or you you take your time to join me. Salamat po. Truly, it's it's I'm always touched by by your by the time you give. So it's truly no, truly, no, I mean it. Salamat po. Salamat, Miss Yesta. Waiting for the I hope you catch the bus soon. Anong binili mo? Hindi pa ako kumakain. Kumain na kayo? Miss Giling, Giling. Oh, we love Miss Giling. Hello, good evening, happy Thursday po, ma'am, sabi niya. Miss Giling, I've known for a long time, no? And she truly is one of the hardest working people I know. At saka buo niyang pamilya, but she really is. But itong picture niya, I know you can't really see it, napakaliit nga. Gorgeous. No, with this dress, I've seen the photo bigger. She's like a goddess. No? Miss Giling. She's lovely. She's lovely. Miss Nadella, Risa Nadella. Hello, Tony, sabi niya. Happy Thursday to you and all the viewers watching here in Clapham Junction, sabi niya. Oh, Miss Nadella, thank you very much for tuning in. Miss Nadella is, she's one of those people, and you don't get so many, that she's happy. I mean, she's genuinely happy, you know? So, and her napakasaya nga niya. It's kind of infectious, no? So when you see her, you can't help but also feel happy, because she's truly a happy person. I hope you're taking some holiday, no? Lucille and Cliff, hello, yeah. Good evening po, Atty. Lira, and to all the viewers. Kamusta? No, I like this photo. Wow, what cool glasses. Thank you very much for tuning in, no? Edgar, wow. This is, Harrison Ford, no? Diba? This is you're going from Bond, the photo before, to, ano tawag yun, the film, Raiders of the Lost Ark, no? Diba? Magandang gabi, sabi niya sa inyong lahat, especially to the astonishing magbabatas Atty. Lira C at mga nanonood. Kamusta po kayo? Rainy days and Thursday always bring me down, no? Watching while on break at work. You're so kind, no? So you on your break, and rather than looking at, I know, videos of cats and dogs, no, that's kind of that I find them entertaining. You tuning in. Salamat po. He's so kind. Kamusta ang pamilya? I hope they're well. Edgar, he's a very generous and truly talented guy. So I'm always touched by that, by attention he provides, and to all of you po, no. Salamat. Gosh, I've gone overtime again because we've had so many topics. Now it just leaves me really to say thank you again po for taking the time posting your questions, no, saying hello, much appreciated, no. And please keep me informed kung anong nangyari. Salamat din po to all the Facebook groups that allow us to post our contents on their pages nga. Much appreciated again. And I hope that you found our topic nga interesting, and I hope you'll be able to again join me no next week nga. Until then, leaves me just really to say salamat po uli. I hope you're able to join me at Lira and Law, same time, same place next week. Good night.